Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Shark Jump Inc. I'm Corey.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Shelby.
And I'm also Shelby.
And today we will be reviewing Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Alright, everybody, it's 2:50 in the morning when we're shooting this, not when it's coming out. But we recently just saw Kingsman, so we're going to just talk about that. And I think we're just going to jump right into that crap, aren't we, guys?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll just go ahead and go first. I have very mixed feelings about this movie, but I think I can go ahead and say it was a disappointment. Like, I'm a big fan of the first one, and this one definitely does not reach those levels. Really not that close either. Like, it's definitely not a bad movie, but it's very flawed. It's entertaining, probably about 80 to 85% of the time. It's very stupid. It's very dumb. It's there's a lot of things in this movie that don't make any sense. But that is a lot of the movie. But like, there's some stuff that just goes over that line, I think, and just kind of transcends their stupidity boundary that they had in the first movie.
I feel like a lot with this movie, it was like, let's just one up everything from the first.
A lot of it is that's what it.
That's sequelitis in that show.
It's also so much longer too, like, and that's what I think a lot of it is as well. Like, I feel like not only was there a lot of stupid stuff in there was a lot of stuff that just didn't need to be in there as well. This movie was like pretty much 2.5 hours long. I think the first one maybe like an hour, 40 hour and 50 minutes. So like, entertaining but flawed movie is my my general consensus. Anybody else want to jump in on that?
All right, and I also really love the first one. Like, particularly, like, they just have like a lot of like really awesome like action scenes in the first movie.
Yeah.
There's the church scene. This one, it has like really cool action stuff as well, and we're not going to talk any spoilers. We'll do that later on, and so you don't have to worry. But there's a lot of cool action scenes in this, but I did not feel like there were any like as great. Like for me, my like the bar for me, I was like, all right, church scene, like that was like the best one.
That's the bar for action scenes within the line, like probably this decade.
Yeah, and so I was like I didn't think that they were gonna beat that, especially since it's to my favorite song, Freebird.
Yeah.
So, but they tried with this. Like, they have the one shot fight at the end of it. That it was very good, but it wasn't as good as the first ones, in my opinion. But I enjoyed the movie a lot. I think probably more than Corey and Shelby. I don't know about Girl Shelby. I think we might be around the same.
I think
but yeah.
Speaking of which, Girl Shelby, you probably heard her voice on the first episode of Jump the Shark. We allowed her to be on camera for once.
Biggest fan, you might say.
I was going to say, would you like to...
Yeah,
with that epic lead-in, would you like to...
building me up too much.
Yeah.
I have to say, I watched the first Kingsman movie less than 12 hours ago. Consequently enough.
She just wanted to get on the show. That's what it was.
I'm just that devoted. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do agree it wasn't as good as the first one, but I also enjoy like the stickiness of the James Bond-esque like overplay of it.
Yeah.
They take the like old like just campy Roger Moore Bonds to like a new level in this one. It is it's insane. And like I said, sometimes I cross that line.
Yeah.
Shelby?
I mean, my opinions are pretty much the same as yours. I'm a big fan of the first one. I felt this one was a bit rough around the edges, a bit sloppy and dumb at times, but it's still a solid time of the movies. And if you did like the first Kingsman, you'll probably end up liking this movie. I'll just say a few things about the performances. Taron Egerton is still just as great as he was in the first one, so no qualms there. And what other character should I say?
Channing Tatum was good in it. Or he was enjoyable.
He's not in as much in the movies as you think he is.
Yeah.
He's fine in the little small role. Julianne Moore is fine as the villain. Well, she does well as the villain, but the villain I don't think is particularly well done. And
I think Corey would like to say something.
wait,
On that topic.
sure, go ahead.
Like, I actually really like Julia Moore. That was actually one of my favorite parts of the movie. I thought she was like not really imposing, but like, I don't know, it was different. I liked it. She played like this, like, kind of like sweet drug lord that was like obsessed with like 50s nostalgia and like technology, and also like insane.
Yeah.
Like, just clinically insane.
Yeah.
But she was actually one of the better parts of the movie to me. Anyway.
Like, I mean, I thought Julianne Moore was good. I just didn't think the character was as interesting as Valentine from the previous movie.
I think I personally like Valentine more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both had similarly stupid evil plans.
Yeah.
But his,
Both kidnapped
but Samuel Jackson's was more goofy because of his lisp and his aversion to violence and stuff. While Julianne Moore's was a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
And scary.
Yeah.
Like literally psychotic.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a spoiler. She makes a man eat another man in burger form.
In burger form.
She cooks him.
That's like the first, like, I would say 15 minutes that happens.
That's the scene that happens.
I was very uncomfortable the whole time.
Matthew Vaughn as a director, still like visually stylish, gets good performances. Like, he's got good comedic timing most of the time. I think the main thing with this is pacing, and like I think he could have left a lot of stuff. And we'll talk more about that in the spoiler section, like stuff he could have left off. But I think he could have left off.
I do feel that the comedic timing isn't quite as strong as it was.
No,
the
it's
first
not.
one. There are quite a few more misses.
Anybody have anything else they want to add before we go into the spoiler section? I don't know why I chose that.
No.
We're ready.
All right, cool. Well, if you haven't seen Kingsman: The Golden Circle, leave.
Yeah. Don't watch
But
it.
come back.
Yeah.
Come back.
Once you watch it.
Come back once you watch it.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do?
All right, welcome back, people who have seen Kingsman, and only people who have seen Kingsman. So, spoilers that have happened. I think we can go ahead and jump into this one first because it's in the marketing. So if you've seen the marketing, you've already got the spoil for you. Harry's back, which is Colin Firth's character. It's a very stupid reason that he's back. It is magic.
It's science magic.
It's
Science magic.
It's equivalent to like the Star Trek, like Into Darkness, Magic Blood. Like, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah, but like I did like the little like kind of like continuity thing where it's like how he was in Kentucky, and so I like that. I really like that because like in the church is in Kentucky, and then statesmen are stationed in Kentucky. So I thought that was really cool.
Good job explaining to the audience.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that, but the whole way he's revived is stupid.
But yeah, building off of that, I don't like the way he was revived, but I'm happy to say that I'm glad he's back because Colin Firth was great in the original, and I think he brings a different sort of great here, where he's a more conflicted, kind of PTSD version of his original character. And I think he was the best part of the original movie, and I think he still might be the best part of this movie.
I think he gives off the best dramatic performance because there's when he's like not really healed mentally from his gunshot wound. He's got like he thinks he's like not like an ornithologist, but somebody who studies butterflies.
Lepidopterus.
Lepidopterus.
There's a word for the day.
He's real like gentle and he like the entire time he's playing like that character, he's got this like little like smile on his face, and he plays that really well, and he plays both sides of his character really well. So yeah, I think he's got the best overall performance in here.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say he's the best part of the movie.
Man, when there was that Mr. Pickle scene where he was like kind of like remembering the time, I got pretty sad. I was like, ooh, this is sad. Like. Like of him, like remembering, like killing the dog, but then not all that.
Well, he gives him the dog, and then like just pulls out a gun. Yeah, there's some funny parts of this movie still. So Harry, Mark Strong dies at the end. Merlin.
That was very sad.
R.I.P.
Did he have to die?
Well. He kind of had to, because
Yeah.
if the mine would have blown up, that would have alerted them.
Yeah.
And so I understand.
And
Why?
because he created the diversion that caused
Yeah,
everyone to come onto the
exactly.
mine.
Like, I understand, but I'm still very, like,
Yeah.
heartbroken about it.
I get the plot reason why, but I just don't think it was necessary for him to die, especially when at the beginning they pretty much kill off most of the
Yeah.
Kingsmen.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Let's go back to that.
Roxy.
Okay, so pretty much all of Kingsman is just destroyed. Like Roxy, who's a major character in the first movie, she's maybe in it 10 minutes, 15
Yeah.
And she
minutes.
dies with little fanfare,
Like I don't.
which bothered me.
It seems like they wanted to go to this whole like statesman thing, but then that kind of buried the whole kind of everything that they had built with the first movie to move
Yeah.
on to these new characters that didn't have really a basis in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. I see the plot reason why they did it. I wasn't really a huge fan of what they did.
Yeah.
Because now you can't really go back to those. Well, I guess in this universe you can go back to those characters.
Yeah.
I
You
guess.
can get shot in the head and still be alive.
Yeah, whenever we were watching the movie, and again, you've seen the movie at this point, Charlie from the first movie comes back, I was like, I guess death just has, like, no, like, say here. Like, it just, no one dies.
I honestly did not think the douchebag from the first movie was going to play like a major
Yeah.
antagonist role in
Yeah.
the second movie. Like he was like a minor antagonist in the first
Uh-huh.
movie. I kind of like how they did that though.
Mhm.
Like they called back to the first movie a good bit, and
Yeah.
like in ways that I appreciated.
Mm.
They kind of, like, I guess, like, helped with loose ends, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, the whole Charlie thing. Like how they explained how, and it made sense to me,
Yeah.
like, how he survived and stuff. I don't know how it blew off his arm, but...
Yeah.
Because that was... Everyone else's head exploded, but it
just
shorted
his
out,
arm
and only his arm
and his
blew
vocal
off.
cord.
Yeah, his vocal cord.
You damaged his implants, so it just ripped off his arm, and he can't speak right anymore.
We fixed it.
That was another like really stupid part. Here's a stupid part that I didn't like. Let's go in. Let's get into this. I really want to get into this. I wanted to get into this when I came on the freaking movie. Okay, so there's a scene where Eggsy and I don't think we ever brought up Paige of Skull's character Whiskey, but they go to he's a statesman and they go to the Glastonbury Music Festival to try to meet with I'm actually not going to talk about what y'all think I'm going to talk about
Okay.
because oh my god I'm not bringing that up.
Yeah.
Good.
Which for one, it's kind of a diversion from the plot to go see like his girlfriend and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, throughout this entire movie, he's also still seeing the horny butt sex princess from the end of the first movie, and so like that's his relationship in this movie. So they make him like. They give him like a finger condom. It's the only way I can describe this.
Yeah.
Yep.
In order for him to get the information, like get a
To put, like, a tracker.
to put a tracker in
inside of her.
inside of
Let's
her,
just put
and
it that way.
that's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
So
The only way.
I thought that was just a tremendously stupid way to generate conflict between him and
And
his
his fiance.
like.
Well, not even fiance at the time, but yeah.
girlfriend.
They become fiance.
After,
Because,
before he informs
Like,
her.
yeah, I thought that irritated the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Because that is just the oddest, and I can't even say it's lazy because it must have took some time to come up with that. But it's just the
Someone
oddest
had
way,
to come up with
in like just infuriating way to come up with conflict between like these like romantic interests, and it's ugh.
The scene made me so uncomfortable because, like, of how long it went.
And then the
How far they went.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way it was like the angle
Yes.
it was shot
Yep.
at.
Oh, they could have totally stopped. I think that was another thing that crossed the line. They could have totally stopped at a certain point, and they did not.
I was squirming in my seat.
Oh,
like,
it's that kind of scene.
mm-mm.
They did not have to go all anatomy wise into it either. But that's where I'm leaving that. That was just I just had to point that out. That whole thing infuriated me because it was a stupid way to create conflict. Anybody else have any like? Bring up?
I don't really have it. You pretty much nailed, like, everything I wanted to say. So,
Well,
I'm
darn.
good.
Shelby, do you have anything?
Oh, I'm angry about at the wedding how
Oh yeah.
at the wedding everyone's there, including Eggy's mom, who isn't there the entire movie, and that's the only time you see her.
And there's no reason.
She's in like one scene.
And then
She's in
also,
one scene like clapping for like the newlywed couple. Like it's weird.
And then
Like she's a major
also-
part of the first movie.
also Eggie's sister isn't there.
Yeah.
Nope.
Which, I mean, I know she's like 5 or something, but if you're gonna bring the mom back, might as well
Yeah.
bring the sister that the mom almost killed in the first movie.
And speaking of people that they did or didn't bring back, I'm not entirely sure because it's been a little bit since I've seen the first movie. I'm not entirely sure like his friends are his friends from the first movie. I might be like 100% wrong about that, but like it does not look.
Yeah.
They weren't the same people.
No.
Like one of them was the
Yeah,
I think
maybe
I
one
think
was
the
that.
guy who had like a birthday, I think he definitely was not. in
No,
the
he
first
was
movie.
definitely
No,
not.
he
And
was
the
not.
and the one that did the was it crack or
Crack.
crystal meth, whatever.
One of them.
He was not. He was definitely not.
Speaking of that, how did you guys feel about like the plot, basically?
It was fine. It
I
was
didn't like it.
ridiculous, but it was fine.
I thought, what do you not like about it?
Well, first off, I know the first film kind of had. Well, the first film had both an environmental thing and a class theme going for both.
Mhm.
But I thought it was a lot subtler than this, where it was just like drugs are bad or drugs are good, blah 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 blah.
Ending the war.
So your whole thing
drugs.
wasn't really about the plot; it was more about how the message was conveyed.
Yeah.
Well, that and the plot. I just didn't get on board with the villain's plan or any of that, or just how they went about it. Really,
I liked the plot. I liked the ridiculousness of it. I thought it kind of matched up well with the first movie.
Yeah.
I could have done with almost. Bruce Greenwood plays the U.S. president.
and he's cartoonish.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
not only is he cartoonish, I could have done without any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that could have been stuff I could have gone on without. Like basically, he's like a president who's just like, we should
Very
kill all
vicious,
drug
yeah.
users. Like we don't need them. They're all bad.
Yeah, I'd say that stuff was actually probably my least favorite parts of the movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Like I don't think any of that was needed.
I actually actively disliked it.
Yeah, so did I. So we got the plot, we got the villain, we got something that bugged me. We got that off my chest. Harry's back.
Yeah.
Everyone's dead.
Oh, this kind of showed in the trailers the first fight between him and Charlie in the car. That was my favorite.
Awesome.
That was my favorite scene in the whole
cool.
movie. Which it's kind of a shame because it's at the very beginning of the movie, but
At the very beginning of the movie, but that scene happened, and I was
but
just like, I was ready for the movie.
but yeah, it's the best action scene. It's got a great song to go with it. It's just a fun action scene. Even though the action in this movie is all pretty solid throughout.
Yeah.
Although I will admit something about one of the action scenes is I don't think we needed another bar fight.
I thought it was funny how they did it.
Yeah. Like how they
Like
touched
because
on
you
it.
thought it was gonna be exactly the same,
Yeah.
and then he misses.
I
you're like,
just don't think we needed to go
You
through that entire motion at all.
You get
again.
that, and I would have been fine if they would have cut that thing off with Colin Firth, and like he got like beat up or something, but then we basically go throughout the entire like basically a redo of the bar scene with Pedro Pascal's character, and I could have done without that because it's
Yeah.
basically a redo. Oh, Pedro Pascal's character, that is something I wanted to bring up. Okay, there's nothing that ever it's predictable, but like there's nothing that ever is like I'm working for like the Golden Circle until like Harry's just like he's working for the Golden Circle. Like there's nothing.
There's
like,
no indication.
There's no indication of that. Like
He
Harry's
showed
just
his hand and then blows his head off.
Yeah, he showed his hand, shoots him in the head. He gets revived because this
Because
jail.
stupid science.
Right. And but he shoots him in the head. Personally, as an audience member, I don't know about you guys, I saw like no indication up to that point. Like
Yeah.
it didn't surprise me that was a plot point that they brought up, but
Yeah.
I saw no indication up to that point that he was like working for the Golden Circle or
Well,
working with the Golden Circle.
I think that's kind of the point of it. Is because like
Since
you're
it's-
maybe supposed to think
yeah.
like, oh, Harry's going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and so as an audience, like we're maybe be like, hey, is like Harry like is everything right in his head right now?
good.
Like we're kind of
But
like
they
exiting
just
his perspective.
actively convince you of that.
Yeah,
That's what I was about to say.
Because
Yeah.
you know he's right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you know deep down he's right, and it's just because he's like is Harry crazy. That doesn't mean like how did he know then?
Yeah.
because there was no indication.
Yeah.
I mean, he just guessed, and he was crazy actually.
Like he could have said that about Channing Tatum. Just shoot Channing Tatum and him like, I think he's a double agent.
One last thing about the Pedro Pascal character, they like imply that all of Statesman is in on it, and then at the end like he's like, well, if all drug dealers are dead, like it raises Statesman's stuff.
Yeah.
But then at the end, Jeff Bridges and Channing Tatum are like, welcome to Statesman. So, like, they weren't involved in it?
No, it doesn't seem like
Even though it was heavily implied?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, as I'm talking through this movie, like...
See, but like, I'm not going to this movie expecting like some great. I'm just going to like have fun,
Yeah.
like with these. So
I agree with that, but
I
like,
agree, but
but there were still parts of this movie that were boring.
yeah, there was no parts that were boring and frustrating. That
I didn't really
Yeah.
like the whole thing about them in Italy. Because I thought that was another diversion. Like,
No.
we have to go
Yeah.
there to get the cure from his girlfriend. And, like, that was, like, a whole, like, probably, like, 20-minute stretch that didn't need to be on there.
But I did enjoy the them going down
gondola?
this, the gondola, and
It had cool visuals and
Yeah.
everything, but, like, I thought the scene as a whole was,
Yeah.
was not of use. But, no, I understand, like, there are some movies where you go in, like, oh, I want to be entertained. But, like, you still got to judge it.
Mhm.
Like, based, like, as a movie, you still got to criticize it.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think we can go ahead and rate this sucker now. Shelby, you're the guest.
Mhm.
You get to go first.
Oh no.
You know how the rating system works. You've seen all the videos.
While I enjoyed the first movie, obviously, because I watched it 12 hours ago. But this movie obviously didn't live up to the expectations that I had for it, but it was still obviously enjoyable. So I'd give it like a 7.3 maybe. And also Taron Egerton was still very hot in this movie, so that affected my scoring.
Of course, I mean that is
Slightly biased.
as it should.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah. Just to reiterate, I love the first movie. I like it a lot. Probably one of my favorite action movies in the last few years. But yeah, to say that this movie was a disappointment is a bit of an understatement. It's not actively bad, but it's just pretty underwhelming. And at times it's funny and it's got a good action and sometimes it's got a good bit of heart. But other times it's really dumb and it's really frustrating. So I'm going 6.6.
Yeah, I've said what I need to say about this movie. I think I've really covered everything. It was a disappointment for me with the first movie. Very frustrating, very dumb. Probably a 6.6.
I love the first one. It did what I wanted it to do for me. It was more Kingsman. So I'm at like 7.5.
I mean, that's where I was for like a good bit. Like probably like the first 30 minutes or so. That's probably around where I was, but it just started getting so frustrating and so dumb.
Yeah.
All right, but that will conclude us for today. That is our review of Kingsman 2. I don't know how long we went. Like, we goofed off so long.
Yeah.
Like, the freaking clock says 57 minutes, and I hope to God our
I
video
think it's like
didn't-
25.
Yeah, it probably is. I don't know. We'll see.
You'll find out.
I'll find out later
You'll
in the
know.
night. And, of course, you'll know when you click on the video. So I don't know what you're talking I'm talking to you about. I'm actually just adding in the time.
Yeah.
But that will conclude. That's our thoughts on Kingsman 2. And, as always, we are Shark Jump Inc.